Hey guys, what's up? So it's nothing new that OnePlus is gearing up to launch a new mid-range phone in the OnePlus Z, but the company may not call it the Z and it may be called Nord by OnePlus. The phone is rumored to have a quad camera setup on the back instead of the triple camera assumed up until now. Also, in a pretty strange turn of event, Huawei has taken over Samsung as the world's largest smartphone manufacturer, and Motorola has launched the One Fusion Plus in India starting at 17,000 rupees. And after launching the premium Mi notebooks, Xiaomi is planning to launch affordable RedmiBooks in India. So OnePlus has been preparing for the launch of the OnePlus Z, which was earlier known as the OnePlus 8 Lite and was supposed to be unveiled with the OnePlus 8 series but got pushed back due to supply chain issues. Now it seems like the name would have been for internal purposes, and MaxJ put out a tweet recently with the letter N and 3 blank spaces. OnePlus had submitted a trademark application for the name Nord by OnePlus in late March, but it covers an extensive range of products including headphones and tablets, but more importantly, smartphones. Also, a more recent tweet of his read soon with 4 cameras. So it looks like the OnePlus Nord or the OnePlus Z might have a quad camera setup at the back. The 4 cameras may include a 48MP Sony IMX586 as the main sensor, along with a 16MP ultra-wide and a 2MP macro camera. The fourth one may be a depth camera or a color filter, although I would incline towards the former. The rest of the specs may include a Snapdragon 765 SoC with 5G, up to 8GB of RAM, 128GB internal storage. The highlight of the phone has to be the display though, with a 6.4-inch OLED panel having a 90Hz refresh rate. A 4000 mAh battery with warp charge technology should be a part of the package as well. OnePlus will launch it alongside the OnePlus Pods on the 10th of July. Also, the strangest thing has happened. Huawei overtook Samsung as the largest smartphone maker in the world in April with a market share of 21%, while Samsung's market share was 19% in the same month. Now, this could be temporary as Samsung's key market, Europe, North America and India, had been under lockdown for the month of April and people were hardly buying any new smartphones, while the Chinese economy had recovered by then and so Huawei could sell phones. With the lockdown now easing in these essential markets, Samsung could once again take over Huawei, especially since the latest ban that has restricted chip makers like TSMC from working with Huawei. Also in the news, Motorola has launched the One Fusion Plus in India starting at 17,000 rupees. The phone comes with a 6.5-inch Full HD Plus IPS LCD display with HDR10, 6GB of RAM and a Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G SoC. It also boasts a quad camera setup at the back with a 64MP primary, an 8MP ultra-wide snapper, a 5MP macro and a 2MP depth sensor. The front has a 16MP camera built in a pop-up mechanism, leaving the display void of any imperfections. So you get a complete display experience with no cutouts, nothing. I would have loved to see an AMOLED display here to make it even more immersive to watch content, but sadly that's not the case. The phone also has a microSD card slot for storage expansion up to 128GB and runs on the latest Android 10 with MyUX on top. It has a massive 5000 mAh battery and a meager 15W charger along with a dedicated button for accessing Google Assistant. It's worth mentioning that the phone has a plastic body and it hardly makes sense to get this over the Poco X2, which is available for 500 rupees more, but you get the 120Hz refresh rate with a more premium build. The only reason you would want to consider this is if you really hate MIUI and the dual punch hole selfies on that phone. Other than that, I can't see any other reason to recommend this over the Poco X2. Also, the company's recent flagship, the Motorola Edge Plus, is facing some weird display issues. According to users, purple spots appear on the edges of the display if the phone is used for a long period of time. These disappear eventually but come back again later on if used for long. Also, some users are also experiencing green tints on their smartphone display. The company has advised users to not seek a replacement but rather wait for a software update from the company which would fix the issue. It has already delivered a software fix which has failed to rectify the same as the problem reappeared after a while, so it remains to be seen if a new software update fixes the issue entirely. Finally, we have some Xiaomi news. So after launching the premium Mi notebooks in India, Xiaomi wants to bring in affordable RedmiBooks in the country starting under 20,000 rupees. These may be powered by the Intel Core i3 processors and lower, along with some older generation Core i5 processors. The Core i3 models may start around 25,000 rupees, while the less powerful ones will cost around 20,000. The top-end model may cost as much as 33,000. Of course, this will have a cheaper plastic build. The RAM and storage will also be different from the Mi notebooks, but they should get the same 10-hour battery life and Windows 10 Home. These should be announced somewhere between the mid-July to mid-August timeframe. That's it for this video. Do let me know what do you think about this down in the comments. Smash the like button if you liked it and consider subscribing to the channel for more tech videos. I will see you all in the next one. Till then, bye bye and stay safe.